Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Good morning to you. Coffee and time now on ON, AM, and FM. On Monday morning, it is March 25th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan. Nice to have you along with us. And Dave Richards is here as well. Good morning to you, Dave.
I am. Oh, hi there. Hi, everybody. Hi, Joe.
Hello.
Hi, Melissa.
Melissa Murray is here. Hi, Melissa.
How are you?
I kind of jumped the gun on that for you. Wearing her Monkeys shirt today.
Yeah, all right.
That's right.
Hey,
Good stuff. Hey, we're the Monkeys.
I saw Mickey Dolenz last night at the Greenwich Orpheum.
You did?
I did.
No kidding.
So
I heard he was coming, but
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody would go.
Does he sing?
I didn't know that
Yeah,
anybody I knew would
Does
go.
he play the drums?
He didn't play the drums.
He doesn't.
No.
Well,
no,
yeah.
No.
He just sings now.
He's
Okay.
he's 80, so
Oh, he can still play the drums.
yeah. It was a short set, and his sister did a few
Okay.
songs.
No,
Drums wasn't his first instrument, you know.
Nothing was his first.
It was an elephant. Yeah.
Oh,
Does he sing the Monkey songs that he wasn't originally the lead singer for?
he's
Like
sometimes
Daydream Believer. Let's use that as an example.
Yeah, absolutely.
He does.
Yep.
Okay.
You gotta understand, he spent most of his life, more of his life than being a monkey, as a television director and producer.
Okay.
And that's not stuff that you would know that he did.
Right.
So he's got to like reach in for a little tiny part of his life and try to bring that stuff up so you'll like it.
How
So,
how
yeah,
how big is the band that's with him?
Let's see. Keyboardist, guitar, drummer, bass, and two guitarists. Couple
six.
backup singers.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was
Oh,
a good
decent
size.
size.
Yeah,
All right.
and it's the same guys that like some of them played with Davy Jones when he was solo.
Yeah.
And,
All right.
Yeah.
Good times.
So it was a good time. Yeah,
My-
it was nice.
Is Davy Jones still touring?
He's dead, Dave.
No, Davy Jones died. He
you
was the
know?
first one to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That will slow things down for him, huh?
Yeah. He.
Mickey's the only one left.
yeah, Mickey's the only one left.
Yeah. Well, I knew I knew that Mike and Peter, but I didn't remember when Davy Jones. He wasn't my favorite. He's my sister's favorite.
Of course.
He was a cute one.
All the
Yeah.
girls' favorites.
Right.
My favorite Mickey.
I was more interested in Mickey and Peter.
Yeah.
Because Michael, he's the artist, you know,
Yeah.
and, who cares?
My favorite Mickey Dolenz stories, and he told this story. The Monkeys had just hitting it big, but he didn't realize how big they were. And he went to a shopping mall in California, and a bunch of girls see him and start
Yeah.
screaming and running at him.
Yes.
And he figures there must be a fire, so he turned around at her and ran out into the parking lot. And now all the girls run out after him, and he stops and turns around, and they just encircle him. And he's like,
Yeah, right.
What do you all
Crazy.
want?" Oh, the place is not on fire. Oh, that's when he knew he was a star.
That's when you know you made it big.
That's when you know you make it big. All right, 766-1240. Comments and questions can be called in. All right, we had some good weather over the weekend. We had rain here. Dave had rain down where he had to travel to, and but you got to thank your lucky stars, because my son who lives up in Maine, he got it.
Oh.
3 feet of it.
Oh.
3 feet of snow in that whole general area.
Wow, wow.
Across Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont.
The week before, the week before Easter, right? So,
Yes.
well, Easter's early, but
And I was telling Dave, I was seeing, now he works at a ski resort, and I said, what's your big thing today? Well, after we plowed out the parking lot, now he's shoveling steps and things like that so people can get from here to there, because I've been shoveling all morning. And then I saw pictures online of people, oh, look at all the great snow. Let's go skiing. Miles and miles of backup of cars
Yeah.
trying to get to
Yeah,
Killington and
last minute.
Stratton and Sugarloaf and all the other. And my son had this too. He goes, we don't know, all the cars are coming. We don't know where we're going to put them. Yeah, we've run out of room, and they just keep coming. And it's like, oh,
this is the last opportunity.
that's right. And people are going to say, oh, well, no one else is going to go skiing. it was just packed.
Yeah, incredible.
Wrong.
Yeah, wrong is right. So, and you had a lot of rain down where you went,
Oh
Dave.
yeah, tons of rain, inches of rain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Plus
like
we got
up
a few.
here.
We got a little here, right?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
The power
yeah.
glitch
Yeah.
here, and
Yeah.
power glitch in Coventry. We heard that it caused no ending, no end to the excitement.
And flooding. I don't
Yep,
think
and
too bad-
flooding.
I don't think too bad here, but
Not too bad here, but down in
North Providence had
and,
problems.
yeah, Branch Ave was completely closed off
again. Wow.
again.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Those poor folks in that one plaza.
Oh yeah,
know,
right off 146.
This is like the fourth time.
been
So how
flooded?
many times do you get flooded, like inside your business, and before you say,
Before the insurance company says you're done.
you're like,
We're
I
canceling
can't
you.
do this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is and
It's
then next place you
wild.
go, it's gonna be even more expensive and more expensive. How many times have you put in a claim? Oh my goodness! So
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad down there.
it is bad. So I don't know if either you two, Melissa or Dave, are paying attention. So I got a weird feeling on this one, and it's the whole Shohei Ohtani story.
What is a Shohei Ohtani for those who haven't been paying attention?
He is a baseball player.
Yes,
For the
right.
Los Angeles Dodgers. He just
Is
moved
he?
from the Angels to the Dodgers.
I'm sure that caused a stir.
Well, they're not happy in Anaheim, of course, but
Right.
but he went where the money is, and that's kind of how it goes. The big thing about Ohtani is that he's considered the best baseball player right now in the world. He can pitch and he can hit, and he's not going to pitch this year because he's coming off some kind of surgery on his arm. So they were supposed to shut him down for the entire year, and he was just going to be DH. But the story is his interpreter and his limo driver or his car driver, who had to be fired by the LA Dodgers for embezzling money from Shohei. Don't worry, I'll I know English and I'll do everything for you.
Yeah, we'll take care of all this for you.
But now the story's
You don't
turning
need all that money, kid.
But now the story's turning a little, and it seems like he was going to Shohei and say, he had a very bad gambling problem. He owed $4 million. This is a bad gambling problem.
Yeah, that's bad.
And
It's
Shohei's
hard to imagine.
now it looks like Shohei's giving him the money to pay off his gambling debts because he certainly has it to give. But now it comes into a gray area, and Major League Baseball is very funky about this,
Right.
about paying off gambling debts, and they want to know was the interpreter placing bets for Shohei, and if he was, and if that can be proven,
Done.
you're out.
Oh yeah, banned from baseball.
Yes, forever. Look at Pete Rose.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, this is taking on more and more
Interesting.
layers.
Yeah.
So right now, everything's okay, and he's still playing. But Major League Baseball has opened up an investigation into this, and we'll have to see what they find. They're very big on what you can and cannot do in terms of gambling. No betting on baseball at any level, pros, college, high school, down to little league, and that includes softball too. No betting at all. You are allowed to bet on the other sports. So that'll be the big thing. Where did this guy place his bets? Who did he place bets for? But he if it's $4 million, you know it's going to go back to last year or the year before.
Oh,
I'm thinking it's going to go back that far.
Yeah.
Unless he like gambling a lot on football and just put a lot of money down and kept guessing wrong. But it's and I got a bad feeling about this. And maybe Shohei's from Japan.
Right.
Can he plead ignorance? Can he plead stupid on this? If that's the case, if
It won't do any difference.
Yeah.
it shouldn't, but it might.
He can
'cause-
plead anything he likes, but the rules are the rules.
Right. But were the rules explained to him going in? Did he?
Oh, you mean
did
the
he
interpreter
understand?
who took the money?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who-
yeah.
who-
it's
Did
a
he
little-
explain the
little
rule? Oh, dude, you don't want that
sticky
money
wicket,
around
right?
because you can get big trouble with this money. So
Yeah.
I'll take it in for you.
I don't know. I don't know where that goes. It was different with Pete Rose, who was in this country and knew he was betting on his own team. So that was wrong. But does Shohei know? Did he know if he was doing wrong was wrong? All part
Well,
of the
that makes a
investigation,
difference to us in
Yeah,
our
it
culture, but
does.
it doesn't make a difference to rules.
right? But I just wonder. And it's tough right now because when Pete Rose was banned from baseball, he was done playing, and he was a manager.
Right.
This guy is considered the best player in the world. And do we want to get rid of the best player? he would probably just go back to Japan and keep playing. But he'll be out of Major League Baseball if that's the case. It's
He's
a,
not
it's a
the-
real,
he's not the
it's a
one that-
real
he's
PR
not the-
problem.
He's not the one that did the betting.
Well, they're trying to
Well,
find that out.
Theoretically.
Now, from what I read over the weekend, from players that know him, they say Shohei, he doesn't know who's good and bad in other sports. He knows baseball,
Yeah.
but if you want to ask him about soccer or basketball, he doesn't know. So they're under the impression that he wasn't betting and he was just helping, or maybe he was just helping out his driver here.
Right. A friend and saying,
Yeah.
oh, this guy's in a jam. I'm going to help
But
him out.
Is that still okay or not?
Yeah,
okay?
right.
So, I don't know. Let's see, if this is all, we got a note in from Mr. Tim Draper. If this is all true about Shohei and they let him continue to play, that's fine. But then you have to let Pete Rose back into baseball and elect him into the Hall of Fame. You can't have it one way and the other.
That,
Right.
you can't,
And I
that's
actually
correct.
I agree with that. So we'll see, but we'll have to wait and see what MLB comes up with in their investigation. We'll see how long it takes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Melissa, you like doing these plunges into the ocean on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Do you
Do
only
you
do
take
it?
your dog?
But do you only do it on New Year's Eve? Or do you do it other
Oh,
times?
only-
Because it was just one over the weekend.
There was, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a ritual for me to do it on New Year's Day,
Okay.
start the new year, and
New year, new plunge.
new year, new plunge.
So the Special Olympics hosted their annual Torch Run Plunge
Yep,
at Salty Brine. Is that where you go, Salty Brine State Beach?
yep.
Okay,
Yes.
same beach.
Yes, same beach.
They raised $200,000 for this
Wow.
fundraiser, and dog friendly.
I know. I did. I saw a
Did
dog
the dogs
do it.
go into the ocean?
I've
Oh, yeah.
seen a dog do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I
Salty
always-
Brine's a baby beach. You don't have
Well,
to
I
worry
know.
about the surf.
But the
No, but
water's
cold.
cold. The water's cold.
Oh,
That's all
still
I'm
cold
worried
for
about.
doggies. Yeah.
Then the dog will look up at the master and say,
What's the matter with
you
you?"
done?
I want out of here.
You done?
Why are we
I
doing
could,
this?
I could use a hot chocolate right now.
And a nice warm towel.
yeah.
Well, hundreds did it, including several police officers who brought their canine colleagues with them. So let's make
Oh.
it a nice run. Speaking of dogs and their colleagues, do you know what the rule is on this, Melissa? If you have a service dog, do they have to wear a vest that says they're a service dog while you're out in public with them?
I'm not sure. I see.
I know that's policy.
I see
You can
dogs
have
with
service
the-
dogs, but
Yeah.
if they're not labeled service dogs, management doesn't want to deal with it.
Right.
So when you're here, a restaurant or a store or something like that, we allow service dogs, but they must be obviously service dogs. They have to show indication they're
Oh, with
officially
with,
service
right.
dogs.
But is
So-
there a law in this?
I'm not sure,
All
but
right.
sir, I believe that if it's a service dog,
Right.
it wears that vest. If it's like an emotional support animal, you just have to have some kind of paper. Actually, no, they can't ask you. They can't ask you. That's the problem.
The owner of the store can't ask you.
If you say this is my emotional support animal, they can't ask you why you need it or
Oh, well, okay.
ask you to provide paperwork.
But you can't say prove it.
you don't have to.
Okay.
In certain instances, it's,
But
it's
haven't-
I've seen dogs with the vest on
Yep.
that were clearly not service dogs.
Really?
Oh yeah,
They weren't trained?
they were not trained.
You can
they were
tell.
just you can yes.
Because I saw one on last Friday. I was over at Fast Eddie's, and it
Yeah.
said service dog on it. And
Yeah.
they sat at the table, and the dog went right down to the ground.
That is an
Okay, I
actual-
said, This
yes.
is an actual service dog. Okay,
Right.
fine. But haven't airlines made a ruling on emotional support animals, and it can only be a dog on the flights? No more tarantulas and snakes and cockatiels and things like that.
Maybe I guess that would depend on the individual airline.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be up to the company to have those rules, but
So I didn't know if it was law that if you have a service animal, they have to be highlighted saying that they're a service animal, a service dog.
if I had a service animal, I would certainly make sure that I had the proper paperwork all the time
Yeah.
to be able to take them into those places if I were questioned. But you don't necessarily have to.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could have your emotional support tarantula and Who knows?
on a little leash.
Oh. Hopefully in like 5 cages inside of each other and never can get out. But yeah, you know my 4-leg rule. If it has more than 4 legs, forget it.
That's right. And spiders certainly have more than 4.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there you go.
The more legs, the worse it gets.
And they walk so creepily.
Oh, I know.
All right. it's
All I
time
can think of is the Brady Bunch right now.
That's right. All right. Time for a break here on the Coffee and
Why,
program.
'cause
More
they
is-
had 12 legs?
No, they have 8. Oh, the
Yeah.
Brady Bunch, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, 6 kids. It's 12
No,
there.
no, the Hawaii, the special episode in
Yeah.
Hawaii when the tarantula gets into
To the boys'
yeah,
hotel room.
yeah, yeah,
Crawls up on Peter's chest.
yes.
Makes you wonder if it was a real spider.
I know.
Because if I was the actor, I was like,
I would have been like, no
"Freaking
way.
hell, I just can't.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
I
Can't
know.
do it. All right, more is coming your way. Comments and questions, call them in at 766-1240.
Dr. Jeffrey Dodge believes that good communication is important because it makes patients feel relaxed, reassured, so the visit can be a positive experience. It's important to listen to what patients have to say and to explain clearly what procedures or treatment is best. Dr. Dodge is a family dentist and welcomes children, adults, and senior citizens. And remember, it's important to take good care of your teeth at any age. Dr. Jeffrey Dodge, 1438 Park Avenue, Woonsocket. At Park Square, 762-3044.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON AM and FM.
Coffee and on ON. Thanks for joining us on ON Radio. It is Coffee and I'm Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards. Melissa Murray is here as well. And I was mentioning to Dave a little earlier today. I'll mention it again now just in case you need to be aware of this, that it's going to be crowded in downtown Providence at the end of the week on Good Friday. The regional championships, I guess that's the best way of putting it, for the NCAA men's hockey tournament will take place Friday at the AMP in Providence. There'll be 2 games Friday afternoon, 2 in the afternoon, and then again at like 5, I believe. And then there'll be another game on Sunday for the winners, and whoever wins that moves on to Minnesota for the national championship. Providence College did not make the 16 teams that they have in this tournament, but Boston College did. Boston University did. University of Maine, I think they made it as well. So they will all be vying for the national championship. Boston College will play down here in Providence on Friday. If you got nothing better to do on Friday, there's some hockey games going on for you down there.
Yeah.
So a little farther away from the state of Rhode Island, boy, pretty nasty attack in Russia at that at that music hall where there was a concert going on with the how many busted in with the 5?
Yeah, well, what they did is they threw explosives in, and so when people started running out to the lobby,
That's
then
when
they
they
were
were
just
shot?
gunning them down. Yeah,
60 died is what I remember.
yeah, at least, yep.
And then I read something that was more disturbing than that was someone in that country, and I don't know if it was Putin or not, but they were blaming the United States for it because we didn't give them the best intelligence on this. I said, oh, so it's our fault.
No, we absolutely knew.
Well,
that
they blamed Ukraine.
yeah, and they blame Ukraine too,
instigating it.
which
Oh, well.
And if
but
you're at
it's-
war
but I
with
thought
somebody,
I thought it was
then-
ISIS.
Yeah,
that
if you're at
claimed
war with somebody,
responsibility.
obviously they're going to get
They
the
did.
blame for the time of day.
Yeah.
We get that. But according to our State Department, even though we're at odds with the Russians on many different levels, it is commonplace if you hear of something like this being fomented that you warn even your enemy, unless there's a state of war. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously all bets are off then. But I mean, you warn them that hey, this is our intelligence. This is what we heard.
That's what we know.
and we did.
Yeah, and we did, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe
Enough.
they think we held back some of the facts. I don't know. You can't expect the Russians to act the way that you wish they would. They'll disappoint you on every turn
And they,
because it's
they
all
withhold.
gamesmanship for them.
They withhold information from the general public, so they get a very controlled messages. There's not a lot of independent media, so it's they're just gonna say
And here
whatever.
they did arrest at least one.
Yeah.
If not more.
Yes. At least one.
Jeez. It's one of my worst nightmares is like being arrested in Russia.
Yeah, that is a nightmare.
It's going to be not good for you
Nope.
if you even make it to trial
Right.
alive. All right. So, yeah, that was a pretty horrific thing that happened there.
Yeah, it is. We did warn them because, it was civilian attacks.
Right.
And
And they said the place could hold like 6,200 people or so, and
It's like the size of the Civic Center.
maybe
the-
a little
the amp.
smaller. Maybe a little smaller.
Well, yeah, the amp can do what, 7,000?
No, you can get 15 in there in a concert.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a little smaller than that.
All right, back here in Rhode Island, right, the Providence City Council, they want to put weight limits on trucks
Well, they
because
have
of the
to.
Washington Bridge.
They
Yeah,
have to.
the road damage is becoming pretty extensive, I guess, in the city.
I think what people fail to realize, they look at a road and they say, oh, that's very hard substance. But actually, a road is, of course, you've got the dirt, and then you put on some stone and stuff like that, and then you put the asphalt on, and it looks like it could hold anything. But the fact is, when you roll a vehicle over it, it flexes underneath the wheels of the vehicles. It actually does move slightly as it's being compressed under the wheels of a car or a truck. Now, take a truck that's 25 tons.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just put that in perspective. That's 50,000 pounds plus the truck. And you start rolling that over the streets over and over and over and over again. Suddenly, your 15-year projection for how those streets are going to hold up is no longer holding up because it's being abused. It wasn't designed for a 25-ton truck. It was designed for fire truck, which is big and heavy, and vehicles and commercial vehicles, but not a big thing like that. Well, so they're trying to avoid having to dig up streets and repair roads for nothing at great expense, just because somebody took a shortcut through the city. So you understand the motivation behind it, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, yeah, boy, one more little problem.
Yep.
They want the big 25-ton trucks. They don't want them on the east side of Providence.
Right now, a
Everyone's
24 and a
cutting
half
everyone,
ton
yeah.
truck, that
Yeah.
one's okay.
But
All
yeah,
right.
they're all cutting through to go
Yeah.
over the Henderson Bridge, and 'cause it's just a nightmare.
Sure is. And
Well,
not to be
it's
outdone.
unpleasant. Let's put it that way.
Not to be outdone, Cranston now has a bridge problem.
Yeah, well,
The
they went
Kimberly
looking
Lane
for it.
Bridge.
They went looking for it in January
And
after
they found
the
it.
problem with the Washington Bridge. The mayor, Hopkins is his name, I believe, right?
Yep.
Ken Hopkins.
Yep.
He said, well, gee whiz, we got a lot of bridges in towns, like 14 of them and stuff like that. Let's have them all surveyed and checked to make sure that they were in good condition. He said that back in January. Gets the report in, and one of them said, oh, dear, that one's going to have to be fixed real fast.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't in my budget. So that's what the conversation is like now.
He says it's because of recent floodings that have been going on, and short-term work will begin this week on that Kimberly Lane Bridge. Contractors plan out permanent repairs. So yeah, all 14 city-owned bridges and culverts would be inspected in Cranston, and I guess that's all done by now.
Yeah, it's
And,
not a bad idea.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Regular inspections are a good thing.
Let's take a look at them all and see what we got. All right. The governor of Massachusetts has decided to do a 180. She now will tell me. She doesn't care about you guys.
If you ask at the
If you
end
ask.
of the month,
She'll provide
Where she
information
went on
where
her
she went
private
on
trip.
personal time, because she didn't want to tell anybody
Okay.
where she was going.
but you're the governor, and we need to know where you are at all
At
times.
all
No,
times.
the lieutenant governor needs to know where I am at all times. The rest of you bozos don't.
Right. Right.
No.
So
I
I
agree.
think she
Someone
was
made a
right.
mistake. Yeah.
I think she was right, but people are trying to dig up stuff on her.
Yeah.
So, and there's a certain amount. So you say, yeah, buzz off, all right? And then they don't buzz off.
And
so
then
now
you're
you say,
like,
okay,
okay,
well,
well,
maybe
fine.
I'll moderate this.
Here, yeah, right. Here I was. Here I was here and here and.
That's right.
But-
So at the end of a month, you can submit a request, and I'll be very pleased to come clean about it. But you're not going to know ahead of time. You're not
Yeah.
going to know during. I ain't going to tell you because it's personal time,
Right.
and I don't want you around me.
Last month she was gone for 4 days, and the public,
That's right.
like myself, did not know where she was. Not that
her-
I need to know where she
her
is. all the time.
partner, and she went to
They went to Puerto Rico
beautiful San Juan.
and hung out on the beach. And okay, little getaway to the sun
Well,
and
Puerto
sands.
Rico is not renowned for its beaches.
It's not.
It's renowned for its history and the rainforest, which Denise and I have visited.
Okay.
A really, really nice rainforest. It can be a day trip, and you go through this rainforest. Really remarkable.
Yeah.
And no one needs snow. It's nobody's business what you
Until
do in
take-
your personal time.
Well,
right?
I
But-
kind of
Come back.
agree that way, don't
yeah,
you?
yeah.
But if you're the public,
Beca- That's
servant,
Fine. Well, so the compromise was struck.
yeah.
That, I'll be very pleased to tell you about it after I come back at the
Like
end
you
of the
said,
month.
As long as the lieutenant governor knows and there's a go-to person, and they're governor's on vacation,
You're in charge.
you're in charge, right? But
Yeah.
it's
Mr.
if
Sulu,
you
you have
tell
the
people
con.
ahead of time, then who's to say someone's not going to show up there and bother you, or maybe there's some person with ill intentions who's it's not easy to be a public figure when you have every time you have to make a decision there's somebody mad at you. So yeah, that privacy is important.
Okay.
I don't know where's the line though, right? I mean, just being as transparent as possible, I guess, while
Yeah.
trying to maintain our own privacy.
I know. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
I get it. You talk about people showing up, and I remember the Grand Floridian Resort, which is at Disney World, and they have their big main building where you check in, but it's also 5 stories high, and when you look around, there's rooms in here. So I wanted to go to the top floor and take a picture down when I was there quite a number of years ago, and you hit number 5. And it would go up to floor number 2 and stop, and the doors would open. Mm-hmm. And it hit 5, the doors would close, and the elevator wouldn't move, and would open up, and you're still on 2.
Had to have a key card.
You're right. And someone, a worker of some sort, just got on the elevator and with us, and he said, "What are you trying to do?" I said, "Well, I want to go to the 5th floor and take a picture down onto the lobby because that's the highest point you can get to." And he asked me, "Do you have a room up there?" No. He goes, "Oh, if you did, you'd have the special key that would get you up there." I said, "I didn't know I needed a special key." And he said, "That's where all the celebrities and the royalty stay."
Oh.
I'm like, "Oh." And then he got out his key and did something and hit 5 and got off the elevator. He said, "I didn't do this." And he walked away. And we went up to the 5th floor
Oh my goodness.
and doors open. Didn't see anybody. So we got up there. I got out my camera. This is before cell phones. Got out my
Yes,
camera.
yeah.
Click. Okay. Call for the elevator. Let's go back down. My wife was so nervous. She thought we were going to get in trouble.
Well, to tell you the honest
Gonna get
truth,
thrown out.
maybe
You
it
can go
wasn't
down, you just can't
kosher,
go
but-
up, right? Yeah.
What's that?
Maybe it wasn't kosher, but that's one thing that Disney was always known for. I don't know
Do
what they're
something-
like now.
do something
to,
for
to
their-
try.
like
Yeah,
that.
well, try to make the answer be yes if there's any good
Yes.
way to do it. And I want to go up and do that. Well, we can't let
not really
people up
supposed to.
there, but keep a secret here.
Yeah, that's right. And,
Right.
and he did it. So
Yeah, so I mean, he sized you up, figured he wasn't going to get in trouble, and you weren't going to cause any
Mm-hmm.
trouble. So
Yeah, wanted a
said,
photo.
okay, let's give him a good memory.
and it was, and I've always remembered that, and I never get the guy's name, and you can go on their website if someone does something special for you like that, and to recognize them. Of course, there was no websites to do that 30 some odd years ago, so we couldn't do that then, and he probably wouldn't have been recognized for that. He might have gotten in trouble
Yeah.
for doing
Yeah.
something
You don't
like
wanna
that.
get him in trouble
so
for that.
we didn't
Well,
want
they
that
didn't have
to
the same
happen.
security precautions.
Well, that's true. All right, we're gonna take a.
They forced the celebrities to buy the entire floor.
Sometimes, but I think when I was there, not at the same time, but Princess Diana and her 2 kids had stayed there like rather recently, and that was their big claim to fame. I'm like, oh, well, we missed them.
Well, they weren't nobodies, that's for
Oh
sure.
no, they were known at that time.
Royalty.
All right, time for the weather forecast, and the weather forecast being brought to you by Unbound.org.
Mostly sunny skies today with a high of 43 degrees and a stiff breeze from the northeast. Tonight, increasingly cloudy, overnight low of 31, winds from the northeast. Tuesday's weather, patchy fog before noon, cloudy skies, high of 40, winds from the north over 30 miles per hour. Wednesday, a chance of rain, mostly cloudy, high of 57, and a breeze from the north. Thursday, rain and 52, 80% chance, winds from the north. On Friday, mostly cloudy skies, high of 49, winds from the north. Saturday, mostly sunny, high of 51 and breezy. And Sunday, partly sunny, high of 51 and also breezy.
Currently outside the Navigate Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with mostly cloudy skies. We've got 35 degrees. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. An elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change their world, and it will change your own at unbound.org. Thanks, Dave.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, two locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Have you heard of Scott McGee with RE/MAX Properties? He's been selling real estate in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for the last 17 years, and you can see that he loves what he does. Scott, as well as his team, take pride in what they call the fair and honest team. No gimmicks. And no, they're not buying your house if it doesn't sell, etc. Just fair and honest real estate. Scott personally works with tons of sellers and buyers and specializes in residential properties as well as commercial, and he's always very fair and offers super competitive rates. Remember, this is probably the biggest move in dollars that you will ever spend or receive. You want to go with a trusted and experienced agent. Scott is fair, honest, and modest, always puts the clients first. And he also dealt with literally almost any situation. You really need to look at your real estate needs as a business. You want to pay and get the right money now so that you're not paying for it later. Trust me. So why not give Scott McGee a call at 401-639-2906. That's 401-639-2906.
Hi, I'm Greg Bell, the host of When Radio Was.
Why, Mortimer. Bill. Is that you under that blindfold?
Bill, with this thing on, I can't see who I am.
No, I imagine not. Can't you see anything at all under that blindfold?
On a clear day, I can see the blindfold.
You can.
Yeah.
When Radio Was, shows from the past for today's imaginations.
When Radio Was airs Monday through Friday right here on ON 1240 Radio at 11 a.m. and 11 p.m.
It's Coffee Ann on ONAM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Melissa Murray and Dave Richards. So, over the weekend, or was it last Friday? The big announcement came out from England is that Kate has got cancer.
Yeah.
And
The Duchess of Cambridge?
or she the Princess of Cambridge.
She's a princess.
Yeah.
Princess
Oh, I'm
Kate.
sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So and she talked about how she went in for abdominal surgery, like
Right.
they said major abdominal surgery, and they
Yeah.
think everyone's going to be fine, but that's when they discovered the cancer.
Right.
And like that, and I'm thinking, oh, and then she said, well, got to have privacy this time. I'm like, oh, are we just going to hear daily updates from now on her on how she's
Well, maybe
doing?
you would in Great Britain.
Well, I was wondering if we were going to hear it over here. So because there's a lot of people in the United States that they're so enamored with the royal family, and then I thought, I understand she's sick and all, but how many other people get diagnosed on Friday with cancer? Mm-hmm. Just in the United States, not let alone the UK.
King Charles also has cancer, and then there's another family member too. The royal family is 3. So
And it's too bad. Young
it is.
mother,
It is
I
right.
I
Young
get
mom.
it. But
And that's why she was. People were making up all sorts of stories because they saw that
They haven't seen it, right?
doctored
Oh, the
photo.
photo. Yeah.
You know, where you could tell it was AI, and it said it was like a Mother's Day message with her and the kids, and people could tell that it had been
Doctored?
Yeah, it had been doctored. So then there's some other photo that was doctored, and so people had all of these, you know,
Wild
hypotheses
accusations.
about what was going on, and so I think because of that, then she had to come out and say, you know, yeah, I have cancer, but you know, we had to break it to the kids first, and you know, have them obviously they don't want to hear it in the news or from their from their friends or the schoolmates. Yeah. But I think they kind of forced it. That issue forced it to surface.
All right. Well,
It's
so far
sad.
it is, and so far I haven't gotten daily updates
No.
on it. So I guess maybe the press in the UK is adhering to what she asked for. And
Yeah, they can
and
be
like
pretty
that.
brutal.
The press over there, they can be.
Really brutal.
You're right. There was a fire in Providence on Sunday. 6 people left homeless. A cat has passed away in the fire. Yep. 2 alarmed fire on the first block of Aralt Street. 50 firefighters worked to contain the blaze, which did spread into a second home.
Right.
No injuries with people, and the cause of the fire does remain under investigation. Red Cross is assisting the 6 residents.
It's never a good time to be displaced, but especially now with housing being so tight.
Yeah, you know, where are you going to go?
Where are you going to go?
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
Ghostbusters.
That's who you're going to call.
They've been big this weekend.
Not where you're going to go.
Yes.
Big in the big. Was they the number 1 movie?
There was another movie, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I didn't
okay.
see it.
Number 2.
Well,
Well, this wasn't Ghostbusters 2, but this was.
Right, well, Dan Aykroyd was in it, and yeah.
They made cameos.
Yep.
Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire
Right.
got the top spot. Brought in $16 million from Friday, and I don't know who was in the movie though. And that just lists all the other movies that did well.
And which movies were they, Joe?
Dune Part 2.
Oh, Dune Part 2, right?
Yeah,
Because they had to
that's
do
second
2
place.
parts.
But that's been like 2 or 3 weeks now that they've been out, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Kung Fu Panda 4.
That sounds like a fun one.
It's a cartoon.
It's my speed.
It's a cartoon, Dave.
Kung
Yeah.
Fu Panda 4.
I know.
It's a CG, computer
Yes, yeah.
generated animation. Jack Black, I know, is the guy. They're in 3rd place. There was a horror movie out called Immaculate.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's
I haven't
about.
seen a movie in ages.
Yeah, and I don't have a 5th movie, just the top 4.
But I do remember I recently I had a conversation with somebody who was considerably younger than me, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go see Dune," and I'm like, "Oh, they remade Dune," and they're like, "Well, this is the second one,"
Yeah, isn't it like 3 hours long?
and they're like, "The first one was a year ago or a couple years ago or something," and I said, "Oh, so this is a part 2 because the original was so long," and they were like, "Oh, that one wasn't the original," and they were like, "Well, this one there was like a worm," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's." The original, which was on 2 VHS tapes, remember?
Oh,
It was a
yes.
big deal.
It was like 6 hours
It was a
long.
6-hour long movie, and you 2 VHS tapes.
Yeah. McLaughlin, is that the guy that started it? Wasn't Sting in it too? The original one? No, maybe I'm thinking of
I'd
something
have to
else.
Google that.
Well, it's a real stop the presses moment now, because Adam Sandler says Happy Gilmore 2 is in the works.
Oh, he's been shopping that now
Yeah.
for over a year.
Yeah.
I think he got the money lined up and some commitments and stuff, so now we can
Yeah.
talk about it.
No Bob Barker, though.
No, not this time around. But the original film is from 1996.
Yeah, yes, which is
25
like,
years later.
I know.
We're coming up with a sequel.
1996 was 25 years ago.
How scary is that? Yep.
Almost 30. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But Christopher McDonald, who played his rival, Sandler showed him a first draft, so it looks like he's in. It's in the works. Fans demand it. So, all right. I didn't see the first one. I know Bob Barker is in it.
Yeah,
I know
yeah, I saw the
Adam
first
Sandler
one.
wears a Boston Bruins jersey.
Yeah.
Actually, he's a hockey player in
It was
the movie,
yeah,
right?
yes. It was kind of an instant cult classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
You know, either you like Adam Sandler movies or you don't.
I don't.
And I don't.
I liked him on Saturday Night Live because he played different characters.
Little
But the
short
characters, that's a funny thing too because I like Saturday Night Live. There's quite a number of their performers that you grow fond of after a while, but then they get into a particular character. And they keep doing that one every other week. And then they go off and somebody gives them a pile of money to go out and do it in a movie. And I'm saying,
Not just a movie. Like, oh, you're going to make 3 movies. So then they're beholden to that. And that's when the movies get bad, I think. If they're
ahead
like,
of time.
I got to make that 3rd movie. So, it's a contract.
I'm on a contract. That's right.
Yeah.
But one was Tina Fey. Was very, very good. I liked most everything she did. And who was the other one? Kristen Wiig.
Kristen Wiig is wonderful.
Well, and I'm glad you like her. But her standout characters are lost on me because they just okay, fine, that was funny once. Grow up, it's not funny anymore. We don't need to see it.
Great.
Well, I did see
And Adam Sandler fell into that. Okay, fine. I know you're an enormously talented guy. You can do all kinds of things. People laughed when you did this. Do you really have to do it 20 more times?
Well, I'd like to see the angry golfer out there on the golf course. But is Kristen Wiig the one that was in the movie Bridesmaids?
Yes.
That was funny.
Yes.
That was a funny movie.
That was.
But I like Tina Fey because
she.
Tina Fey and Amy Poehler would play other things other than the outrageous characters that they would use in a sketch.
Right. Well, 30
it's
Rock.
great on a 6-minute sketch on Saturday Night Live once in a while. But my goodness, to watch it for an hour and a half was just more thin for me.
Parks and Rec.
Am I wrong on that?
Yeah. No. I mean, for some characters, I think it depends on what you like. Like, I'm not a big Adam Sandler fan.
Right.
But I think everything Kristen Wiig does is funny and fabulous. So I think it just depends on what kind of.
Is Tina Fey getting typecast? Because wasn't she in both Mean Girls movies as the principal of the school? I know she was in the original.
Yeah,
it was also
I don't
like
know.
25 years ago.
Right, I know.
And the one that's out, either it's out now or just went out to.
Yeah, I don't know if
on
she's
demand.
in that one. Yeah, I don't know if she's in that one.
I thought she was.
Yeah, but sometimes, you get
she-
typecast and you just, that's,
She's becoming the new Eve Arden, Dave. She's only going to play the principal of the high school from now on.
Tina Fey.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I can get that. They've got similar attributes. I think that's a pretty good comparison. Eve Arden found a character, wisecracking and stuff like that.
And she ran with it.
Yeah, and I think it's a pretty good comparison you got there.
Oh, okay, good. Melissa McCarthy in Bridesmaids was hysterical.
Yeah.
Funny. Her trying to seduce her then husband that's playing like the guy on the airplane was just so hysterically funny.
I loved that movie when it came out.
Did you see
And
the
I'm not a
movie?
big movie goer, but yeah, I loved it. It was hysterical.
I think the last movie I saw in the theater was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh,
And I
so it's
said,
a while ago.
I said, yes, 2, 3.
Actually, I wanted to see that, and I never did.
I wanted to see it in the theater because of the sound.
Yeah.
I think I go, they're going to play the music, so that's just going to be, it's going to sound great in the theater, and it did. And the movie was really good too. So, that's the last one I saw in a movie theater. I just haven't had the the top 4. I don't want to see anything.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I can wait on Ghostbusters and it's not. I got to go see this one.
Yeah.
Did you say Bill Murray's in it and Dan Aykroyd? Do they make appearances in it?
Yes.
Okay. Ernie Hudson.
I'm not sure.
All right. Harold Ramis is not going to make an appearance.
No.
He's not going to make it this time around. All right. We're going to take a final break here on the Coffee and program. More is coming your way. Comments and questions. Call them in at 766-1240.
Legal situations may arise at any time. They're a part of everyday life. Personal injury, traffic violation, DUI charge, criminal defense. When you need sound legal advice, call attorney Peter J. Hopkins at 356-1043. You'll be treated with dignity and respect. That's attorney Peter J. Hopkins, 191 Social Street, Woonsocket, 356-1043. It's important to have someone in your corner. Attorney Peter J. Hopkins, 356-1043.
Hello, my name is Paul LaValle. I'm a Knight of Columbus with the Council 113 in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. We are sponsoring a scholarship fund for the Greater Woonsocket Catholic Regional School System. There are only 100 tickets being sold. They are $50 each. The first prize is $1,500. The second prize is $500. The third prize is $300. You can purchase them from any Knight of Columbus, including myself. My phone number is 401-651-5533. Plus at WOON, Woonsocket Radio Station, 985 Park Avenue. Or the administrative office at 1200 Menden Road, Good Shepherd School. Thank you.
ON Radio, thanks for joining us. Joe Callan here with Dave Richards, Melissa Murray. We're just talking about where did all the second-run movie houses go to?
They're all gone.
They're all gone. And I remember being a student at Rhode Island College, being talked into, take a break from studying. We're going to go see Die Hard. Bruce Willis, are you kidding? But there was a movie house on Chalkstone Avenue. I can't remember the name of it. It was $1.
Yeah.
Like on Tuesday night or Wednesday night to go.
Yeah.
And that was part of the selling point. Joe, it's $1. Let's go.
Right.
All right, fine. Let's go.
Right. If you got to see a movie and it's terrible, it was
It's
$1
only $1.
or
Yeah.
$2.
And
You waited to see it if you weren't, like excited about anything. You're like, I have nothing to do. Let's go see a movie for $2.
Yeah.
Might not like it, but whatever. It's something to do.
But the second run movie.
I don't know of any.
All right, there's one on Route 1 in North Attleboro, but it's called Cinema Pub. And so you can get food and drinks. And they'll show the second run movies.
Oh, okay.
But I'm listening to you, and you must realize that second run isn't public exhibition. It's second run is television or pay cable.
It is now. Yeah.
You're right. Or stream it. Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's where second run is, and some of the first run stuff is going that way too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
So
having a brick and mortar
also
place and dragging people in from their homes.
Yeah.
For a second run movie, I think that's in the past permanently.
I know. Nobody wants to leave their house anymore.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I remember the one in here in Woonsocket. I think the statute of limitations has run out on this, so I can tell the story. How my friends and I went there, and we paid to go in to see the movie Popeye.
Yep.
With Robin Williams. We did not want to see the movie Popeye. In the next theater was Castle Theater. Thanks, Kevin. He said, no, that was the one on Chalkstone Avenue.
Okay.
It was the Castle Theater.
Okay.
You're right. But there were the three where the church is now. There were 3 theaters there, and the fourth one was down the road. So we went to the one with the 3 theaters. We paid to get in to see Popeye, and then we went out and bought popcorn and soda, and then we went in to go see the movie Bolero with Bo Derek, which is what we really wanted to see, but we weren't of age. And we didn't get stopped. And
they're coming for you now, Joe.
I'm sure everybody tried to do that now, but we didn't get caught. The Bolero movie, by the way, was awful. A real snooze fest. Although it was nice seeing Bo Derek, but you know who was good at that, at stopping people from going in?
Jerry
from
Lewis
kids?
Theater, because they just didn't put it on screen.
No, Jerry Lewis was good because one was to the left and one was to the right, and you couldn't get over without going outside and coming back in. So no, not CW lanes is at Lincoln Mall now, but the Lincoln Mall Lincoln Mall Theater before.
Yeah,
they were good at catching kids trying to switch movies. Because I tried and I got caught.
Yeah,
by an usher. So I had to go back in and watch The Lone Ranger, which I did not want. I don't even know what movie I was trying to get into, but I did not want to see and it wasn't even the Johnny Depp Lone Ranger. There was one before that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it was dull. I didn't want
I'm
that
sure
at
I
all.
did that too, but I don't have any core memories about it.
I don't know why I remember these things. In Newbury, Massachusetts, there's a pink house. It's up for auction. The U.S.
Little
Fish and
pink
Wildlife.
houses, huh?
That's right. Bought the home in 2011, but it discovered it had flood damage. And now members of the public will be able to bid on the building. But there's a problem. If you buy it, you have to relocate it.
Right. You can't get the dirt. You can buy the house, but then you got to
Yeah.
move it to your lot.
You have to relocate the house.
Yeah. Come in, pick it up, move
Change
it down
the
move it
address
down
and
the road,
everything.
which should make the house less
Cheaper.
expensive. You hear about these things, you know, hey, there's that lighthouse that used to be in Narragansett Bay. It was $1, but you had to move it.
Because
we don't have the
because it's in
price.
wetlands or protected lands. Is that what it is?
Doesn't
Or
say.
it's
Maybe it's just an eyesore because it's pink. I don't know.
why not knock it down? Is it like some kind of super historic? But if it was really old, it shouldn't be painted pink.
Right. So there shouldn't be an issue with knocking it down. But the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, we're not in the knocking down houses business.
And then they'd have to remediate it, and
Yeah.
well, they're gonna have to do that anyway if they move the house. You're gonna have to, yeah. That doesn't really
Yeah, but-
sound like a good offer.
Well, it's not something I want to do.
Yeah.
You ever see a house going down the highway?
No.
I have.
I have.
Look at that. Got the big wide load and kind of thing on it. There's
Oh,
a
a
there.
house going down the highway.
Yeah,
Oh, yes,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But those are usually like modular, where they do
Yeah.
one half and then the other half,
Mm-hmm.
right? No,
And we'll
this
get
is
it together
this is
and
like a whole
Hook them together. This
yeah,
is a whole,
right.
This is a whole house.
This is a whole house.
New York City once again tops the list of the richest cities in the United States and the world. The Big Apple remains number one with nearly 350,000 millionaires. Wow. And 60
That's a lot.
billionaires. 60 billionaires.
Yep, 60 billionaires.
in New York City. This despite a major exodus to Sunbelt cities during the COVID pandemic. San Francisco has 68 billionaires, but it ranks second behind New York on the New World Wealth Report because it only has 305,000 millionaires.
We have about 2,000 in the state of Rhode Island.
Other cities round out the
Millionaires.
top 10. LA, Chicago, Houston, Dallas, Seattle, Boston, Miami, and Austin, Texas.
Oh.
Speaking of billions, Mega Millions is up $1.1 billion. Might be time to spend $2.
Right? That's what everyone thinks.
I know. And Powerball's up 800 million.
You can't
or
win if
something
you don't
like
play,
that.
I heard
right?
750, yeah.
Yep, I think it's 800. I think is it Powerball tonight and Mega Millions tomorrow?
I never play.
You never play. I
No,
think
I don't.
I think that's what it is. So,
I'm
that's
not
right.
a gambler. The only time I do anything even remotely close is if I get a scratch ticket as a gift.
You'll scratch it off
Yep, and that's it. And then I will.
and then turn it in if it's a
so
winner.
when you get a scratch ticket
Yeah.
and you win money, do you trade it in for the money, or do you trade it in for another scratch ticket? Like if you get $2 or
I will take the money.
You take the money,
Because I'm not a big scratch ticket person.
but it's free money. So I'm always the one. They're like, oh, well, give me another ticket until I lose, right?
And most people think that way.
Right.
Because I've gone in with the winning ticket
Yep.
and for $2 or $4
Yep.
or whatever it was, and the person behind the counter scanned it and said, "Yeah, that's a winner for $2." And then he stood there looking at me, and then I said, "This is where you give me money."
Right, but they were
Oh,
expecting.
you don't want
yeah.
another ticket? No,
No.
cash. Oh, see, most people don't do it like that. Well, this is what we're doing today. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but I will, if I think about it, I will go out and actually get more than one. Gotta break out $20 to get 10 numbers.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's $2. So
Right.
Got to round these things
Did
up.
you know? I heard on the radio this past weekend that there is a study that has been released to the public that has reviewed all of the numbers drawn for Powerball, I believe it was, going back to 2017. Every number combination, and they have 5 numbers that showed up more than any other number. And they
hadn't
released
heard
that. I wish Tim was one of them, but I don't remember the whole sequence because I wasn't interested in that. But it occurred to me after the person was done talking, reading the story, that you just gave somebody
an idea,
probabilities of actual winning numbers.
Yeah, time to go out and play it.
Right. In fact, the announcer, the DJ that made the announcement on the air, it wasn't a news story. It was an anecdote between records from a DJ. He was saying, now you realize if you play those 5 numbers and you win, I expect a cut.
Oh, you can expect whatever you want. But
Yeah. That's nice.
Yep, that check's in the mail kind of thing. All right. But I don't, when I buy the lottery tickets, it's always just quick pick, just computer
Yeah,
can generate
yeah,
it for me.
Well, sure.
I don't want to stand there and spend
I
my
think Denise
time.
does the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have done it before. They say, oh, you should pick birthdays or anniversary dates, and if I do that in my family, my numbers come up 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5. Like, although my father played those numbers all the time, and we asked him why, and he said it's got just as good chance of coming up as any other number combination. So it was always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he never won. But yeah, you're right. You're right, Dad. But I just feel we should spread it out a little more.
Yeah.
than just those.
I feel
those
like that
single
probability
digits.
is low, but I don't know.
Well, everything is low to try to win. So.
Right.
And I know
Everybody's
there's-
at the same shot.
Yeah, and you got those people that pool their money at big businesses, and they go and spend out. They get like $100, or they get $200 together, and they go get all those quick picks. And I know you're going up against those people, so
I got
it.
I just looked it up. Are you interested in continuing that, or is
Yeah,
that just
what
amusing?
what are the numbers that come
Well,
up
they
the most?
give you right on the USA Today is where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
It says Powerball winning numbers, and it gave the winning numbers for the 20th. Largest Powerball jackpot ever was November 8th, 2022, 2.04 billion with a B dollars. Largest one in 2024 was 810 million. Let's see. What's the longest since Pick 5 Powerball number 1? The longest since Pick 5 Powerball number 1. While White Ball has rolled out in 100 drawings during the past 8 months, but a handful haven't come up since October, such as numbers 55 and 46. These numbers haven't rolled out for 50 days more, and it has a whole list. In other words, these are the numbers that have not rolled out. 55, 46, 56, 14 never seems to come out. 48, 35, 31, and 5. If you Google up, numbers to be drawn on Powerball, or most common numbers to be on Powerball, it comes up with the USA Today story. Now, how long has it been since each Powerball number 1? And number 23 hasn't rolled for 169 days. I guess, if you're playing
That's odd,
odds,
yeah.
this might give you an idea.
Yeah.
The most likely numbers to win, this is what I started saying, I heard this.
Yep.
The most likely numbers, in other words, the ones that roll in winning jackpot sequences, most frequently are 15, 23. Shall I go slower? Are you writing this
No,
down?
I'm writing it
I'm not
down.
again.
All right.
I'm not.
I said 15, 23, 56, and 57 have hit just 3 times or less in the game's recent history.
That's only 4 numbers. Shouldn't there be a fifth?
I saw that. Yeah, I'm looking.
And they don't want to give you the
Least-
5th number because everyone's
least-
going to play it.
Least likely numbers 1, 24, 25, 27 have been picked 12 times or more. Numbers 1 and 27 also rolled out in March.
All
So
right.
basically, this is like an odds book. Like if you were,
Yeah,
gonna
right.
go bet on the horses, and they give you all the book
But
and the
it's
stats.
but it's not
right?
computer
it's-
generated. It's all these ping pong balls that get
Yeah.
sucked up into that
Right.
into that
Oh,
tube.
I see. So I guess they only mentioned 4 numbers on purpose. So they
Okay, so,
wouldn't.
so no one's going to play it. Well, people will
Right.
play those 4, but then you have to pick something else.
Right.
Right.
So 21, 5, 15, and 24 are the most frequently drawn.
What happened to 15, 23, 56, and 57?
Well, 15 is one of those 4.
Mm-hmm.
Those were least likely to
Oh.
come out.
So what are the most likely ones?
Reading it again. 21, 5, 15, 24. Like I said, you can look this up on the web.
All right, we got a few more minutes to go here. This is a bizarre story for people that like to take cruises. 2 crew members on a Holland America cruise ship died on Friday. Spokesperson for the cruise line says the 2 died after an, quote, incident in an engineering space,
Oh no.
unquote, down where the engines
Yep,
are. And
yep, yep.
The ship, which departed from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, was at Half Moon Key in the Bahamas.
Been there.
The spokesperson
October.
added that authorities have been notified and the cause of the incident is being investigated. So it's like, did they get caught in the
Yeah,
in the works, or was something else going on?
it's whatever it was. It couldn't have been it was probably a bad accident, right? Ugh.
And the National Park Service is being sued because they don't accept cash at parks across the U.S. They're like they're becoming a cashless business.
Yeah.
3 people filed a lawsuit early this month claiming the Park Service is breaking federal law by not accepting cash for entry into various monuments, parks, and historic sites. The trio filed a lawsuit after their cash payments were rejected at locations in Arizona, Georgia, and New York. The National Park Service announced last year that dozens of sites within the National Park System would no longer be accepting cash for entry. According to the lawsuit, the Park Service's policy violates a U.S. law that says coins and currency are legal tender for all debts, public charges, taxes, and dues. We've had Bob Lauder on here, and he explained it one time, and I wish I could remember it. But yes, you do not have to accept cash as payment as long as you're accepting something else.
Right, and as long as you advise them before the transaction.
Yeah,
so they can change their mind and not make the
go.
transaction.
Yeah.
Right.
So for those folks, and there are certain folks who don't like to, who like to use cash, who just like, okay, I'm gonna go on this vacation, and this is my cash, and this is how much cash I'm gonna use.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get there, and they're like, "Oh no, we're not gonna take your cash." I bet they're really mad, right? Because they're like, okay, but I specifically have like this amount of money, and this is what I'm going to spend. The whole like little envelopes thing, right? That
and it
some
says it
people
right on the paper.
Yeah.
But I know private businesses, Xfinity Center is one of them. Six Flags is another. They put up little machines. Go put your cash into the
that's
machine,
right.
and we
And
spit
then
out
you pay
a debit card of some sort.
Oh, really?
Yeah, here's your plastic Visa card to use right now. You put $50 into the machine. It's now $50 on the
interesting.
card.
And there must be a fee, of course.
I'm not quite sure.
There's got to be.
There has to be because they got to make money somehow.
Yep.
I'm not sure where, but I know if you put $50 in, you get $50 back.
So it's like the opposite of an ATM. Fascinating.
Yeah, but the Park Service obviously maybe they don't have those.
Right, don't have those.
All right, we got to run. We've come to the end of the program. Thank you very much for listening in. It's always appreciated. Dave Richards, thanks for staying awake.
It's
didn't
been
get much
a
sleep
long-
last night.
It's been right. A very short night. But well, thank you for telling everybody that, Joe. I was doing my best to make a contribution, and it's nice to know that it was appreciated.
It is appreciated.
Always nice being with you and Melissa.
Melissa, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All
Have
right.
a great week, everyone.
Have a great day, everyone. Stay tuned for Leslie Page at the library and Food First with Karen Zangari. It's all next on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. There were 198 confirmed cases of COVID in Rhode Island.